I know the path. I wanna feel it come. All right. Happy Friday, y'all. Oh, last day of the week. Not gonna lie, I am pretty tired, pretty fried from a long week with that showbiz, baby. We've got to finish up with legs, and we got 2 rest days in a row. So the end, got to change my attitude a little bit. Not the end is in sight, but a couple rest days are in sight. Just want to make sure our mic is working. And it seems to be, which is good. All right. Heaven fell to earth. I wanna feel it come down. Keep me alive till I'm 6 feet. I've been listening to a band called Dayseeker quite a bit, and they rip. That's the short of it. Atlas, what's up, man? How are you? Good morning. Number 1. Dude, you're routinely number 1. How are you? Happy Friday. Good day, good day. Is that what people say? Oh, good day. I'm good, man. I am good. Thank you for asking. Hard to complain. I'm very glad it's Friday. Dude, happy Friday for sure. Do a little dance. We made it. But I'm good, man. I am good. It's been a bit of a long week. Not sleeping as much as I should. I need to go make sure I turned off the kitchen light real quick. Hold on. I'll be back in 45 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. As many of you know, I get up well before my family does, and I don't want to leave lights on. Accidentally wake up my wife or my kids. So, hey, we're good. We're back. Yeah, man, happy Friday. I'm stoked. I'm actually meeting up with some buddies tonight for dinner, and we're gonna go get some ramen now that it finally is cooling off a bit. And I am very excited for that and to see some friends, get out of the house a little bit. It's been a lot of, one of the perks of working from home is obviously I gotta stay home and I don't have to commute. But one of the things that is, I don't know, maybe it is a downside, I would say, is oftentimes, like, I don't leave the house for a week or see other humans in person other than my wife and kids. And don't get me wrong, I love them more than anything, but you get a little stir crazy. And, I train out here in the garage and then, work upstairs, hang out, with the family after work and stuff. And every once in a while, you got to get out and see the boys, talk some shop, get some ramen. So I'm very excited for tonight and to see my buds. And we're all in the same line of work. So we get together and, bitch and complain about work and all that stuff as people do. We all basically do the same thing, just at different companies. So I'm stoked. But what about you? What do you got going on this weekend? Any plans this evening or this weekend? Sorry, I hope this angle's not wildly unflattering as I try and mobilize these hips just a bit using this band before we get into some leg training. Also, getting up at 4:30 this morning, not my favorite move, I gotta be honest. Our son woke up. Our dog woke up and started barking at 4:30, which woke me up and then woke our son up, who sleeps in the bassinet by our bed, and then woke my wife up. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're just up at 4:30, and hung out with my wife while we fed him, and I was eating snacks in bed, so that was fun. I kind of felt like a fat ass eating my daughter's Fig Newton bars in our bed at 4:30 this morning as a little pre-workout meal. But anyways. Oh, nothing special this weekend, just chilling. Dude, sometimes chilling is the best. Planning to chill. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope your plan works out, man. Whoops. I can't recall if, Atlas, if you're a gamer or anything. I feel like most people these days play some kind of games. And, dude, we are just like feasting on good games. I've got like 30 hours in Borderlands 4 on console, and it's been going pretty good, and I'm really digging it. I gotta sneeze, hold on. I don't want to sneeze in your ear. Sorry, I'm moving the mic away so I don't sneeze right into the end bit. Okay, it went away. That's the worst. I know that sneeze is going to come back in 10 minutes or so. But for now, it went away. But, dude, now Hades 2 just came out of early access, and that's getting stellar reviews. And I loved Hades 1. So I, at some point, want to dive into that. Ghost of Yotei getting crazy reviews. And I loved Ghost of Tsushima, especially on PlayStation 5 with the upgrades they did, and the online mode was pretty sick. Like, there's some pretty good games out there. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I still want to get to. I never played the first one, but people are saying the second one's awesome, and you don't really need to play the first one, so I probably won't. But it just seems like there's so many things these days fighting for our attention, and there's shows to watch, games to play, life responsibilities and people to see. And it's hard to find time to do it all. But I mean, I could probably get this out of the foreground for everybody. But it's probably a good problem to have, especially if you're a patient gamer. You can just wait, 6 months and get some of these games on sale. So I know I'm gonna wait probably till next year, to be honest, to play Ghost of Yotei. But maybe around Christmas time, I might cave and get Hades 2 and play it on Steam Deck, so I can play on the couch while my wife watches 90 Day Fiance and all that other stuff that she likes. So, yeah, good time to be a gamer. That is for sure. Oh my God, I still have to play Death Stranding 2. Oh. And now Kojima's teasing the Death Stranding, or not teasing, but there's the Death Stranding anime movie that's coming out. Fizzant looks crazy. OD looks crazy. It just feels like we're in such a good time for games. Dude, and it's a good time to be an anime fan. Jesus. Gotta try and find time to make it to the movies and see the Demon Slayer movie, which honestly is probably not gonna happen with 2 young kids, but would still be cool to go see it. Yeah. Lots of things to experience, not nearly enough time. It's the paradox of being an adult. You have money to do things and get the things that you want, but you don't have the time. When you were a kid, you had all the time, but you have no money. Yeah, deep. Oh, all right. Whoa, okay. Almost stripped. And I'm gonna do some like fire hydrants. Okay. Ooh, all right. Whew. Okay, so we did some banded work for our hips, some banded work for our ankles. As you can tell, we got legs Benedict on the menu for today. So, oh man, today's just gonna be a beating, I can already tell. 8 to 10, 185, okay. This is gonna be a lot, that's okay. We got this. Actually, I don't know why I do this every time. Every time in Excel, instead of just like copying what I did last week and pasting it into the cells this week, I end up like scrolling up, then scrolling down, then scrolling up, then scrolling down, then scrolling up, then scrolling, and it's just kind of a waste of time, but not anymore. We're optimizing workflows to be more efficient and other corporate things people say. But we will go head on, get our straw hat flag, fly in our colors, and we'll slip into something a little more comfortable for our leg training. So that means get a little knee sleeve action going. We'll get some Olympic lifting shoes on, and then we will start warming up. Ugh. All right. I always feel like Mr. Rogers when I'm doing this. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thanks for stopping by. Ugh. I wanna feel it come down. Oh. You know, I was not a TikTok guy for the longest time. And only when I started streaming and doing this stuff, and you know, I post clips over there and whatever. But I was never like a big, use social media guy. Was always just like looking at memes. I feel like everybody has a group chat with their buddies from like high school or college or like work colleagues or family, where you just share memes back and forth. And so that was my usage of like Instagram and stuff, was just to laugh at silly memes. And then, ended up getting TikTok and, somehow have found my way into the metal / like, early 2010s or like, early 2000s to like 2010s, like emo scene which is like the music I listened to growing up, area of TikTok. And I'm just getting, what's up, Bowser's Big Bean Burrito? Burr, burr, burr. And the algorithm is just feeding me incredible bands that I completely forgot about or didn't know about. And so I'm back on my metal / in his 30s emo guy that didn't grow up. Dude, that's like the perfect, that's the perfect email, Bowser. And dude, anyways, I love it. I feel like I'm feasting on nostalgia and good music. So if you're looking for a band, Dayseeker is really good. And their lead singer is crazy talented. So there's that. If anybody was looking for the MeatHaus music corner, that's what you're getting this morning. Obviously none of it is playing because of copyright, but we could all just pretend we're listening to some solid breakdowns while we watch a guy warm up for legs. So there's that. BTA Dez, how's it going? Welcome to the MeatHaus. And I'm good. We're warming up for some belt squats. We did a little banded mobility work at the beginning because I have stiff legs and hips and ankles and blah, 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 generic excuses. But now we're warming up. Happy Friday. How are you? All right. Let's get some warm-ups going. So we have 245s on the belt squat, so not heavy at all. So I'm just gonna get some warm-ups in. And working weight for today, we have 185. Couple sets of 10. So, 3 sets of 10, not a couple. I've been getting into the gym recently and I'm finding I'm still sore by my next day working out each muscle group. Any tips for quicker recovery? So what you're experiencing is called DOMS, D-O-M-S, so it's delayed onset muscle soreness. So anytime, first of all, great, that's awesome, you're getting into the gym. That's awesome, so kudos to you for getting started. But anytime you're just getting into training, the DOMS feeling is always kind of going to happen. And it's probably going to happen for a couple weeks, just being fully transparent. Not like you'll be sore for a couple of weeks, you'll likely be sore for a few days. And then after your body kind of gets acclimated to the training and to the movements that you're doing, you'll still always get a little sore, or you might get a little sore. That doesn't always go away. Like I've been training for years and years and years, and yesterday we did pressing motions, so chest, triceps, and shoulders primarily. And like my triceps are pretty sore for today. My chest is still pretty sore. Things that will help you recover, like if your legs, for example, are particularly very sore, if you wanted, you could do an Epsom salt bath. So it's usually pretty high in magnesium content, help you relax, and will help you recover. The other thing is making sure you're eating enough to fuel recovery. If you're, people give the example of like, you wouldn't put low octane gas in your Ferrari, right? Kind of same thing with your body. You want to make sure you're eating enough protein to, stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So you're getting those amino acids to build muscle. And then also making sure you're sleeping enough are the main things. Doing push today and my arms are still cooked from push 3 days ago and pull 2 days ago. The other thing you could do is just take a rest day, I think not necessarily a trap that people fall into, but when you're just starting out, more training isn't always more. And I know that sounds kind of dumb, but it is worthwhile to take rest days until you have accumulated enough training experience to know how much volume your body can handle. So if doing, like push, pull, legs, training 6 days in a row is too hard to recover from, you could do like upper day, lower day, then rest on the third day, then do push, pull, legs, rest. So you're adding, rest days in between. That's actually the training program that I follow. So there's different ways you can structure your training, but there's nothing wrong with taking a rest day. In between, but eating enough is huge, sleeping enough is huge. If you want, you could do, like I said, some Epsom salt in a bath might help. But muscle soreness, is kind of a thing that's going to stick for a while. So, hope that's helpful. I'm worried I might get cold feet if I take a rest day since I'm just starting. Want to make sure I'm being consistent, at least getting in every day. Yeah, but your body also needs time to recover, right? Like we'll mix up the camera angle here just a little bit, but the muscle building doesn't happen in the gym, right? That's the breakdown of muscle is happening through your training and all of that. And if you still want to get into the gym because you like going, right? If on that rest day that you're taking, instead of lifting any weights, maybe you just put the treadmill, at a slight incline and you walk for 20 to 40 minutes at a moderate pace. So you're still moving your body. It's more, people call it active recovery. So you're not lifting weights, accumulating, systemic fatigue that way, but you're still moving your body, getting into the gym, kind of keeping the habit and keeping the routine. that could also be a recommendation I might have for you. But I tend to not recommend training every day unless you're used to that amount of volume, because you'll end up, dude, just getting like so tired, to be honest. But I get your mindset of like wanting to get into the gym and wanting to remain consistent, but you can train, different ways and do some low intensity, kind of low impact cardio, to at least get your body moving a little bit. Until, again, your body's used to the amount of training volume that you're doing. So those are my thoughts. Actually, this is not heavy enough. We gotta throw in another 35. Such a tease. I set up like we were about to start doing stuff and we're not. Okay, so we have 90, 125 plus 35 for the math people. What is this, 160? Is what we're doing? For our last warm-up. Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, no worries. No worries. Again, I mean, gotta feel good at least getting started. That's the hardest part, is getting in there, but kudos to you on getting started. That's awesome. You should, feel proud for doing that. But I think early on, your training split doesn't matter all that much. Consistency matters. Definitely make sure you're eating enough to recover, sleeping enough. Those are the main things. And when it comes to eating enough, I'd aim for like 1 gram of protein per pound that you weigh. Unless you're using kilograms, then I don't know what that conversion is, but that's typically the recommendation early on. Okay. All right, that is our last warm-up. We'll throw another 25 on, and we will get into the meat, MeatHaus, into the meat of our training session. So, yeah. There we go. Don't pinch my fingers. All right, 185 on. Let's do it. Do it, do it, do it. My name keeps coming. Oh. And we can move our camera one more time. Oh, BTA does one other small tip is I would recommend logging your workouts. There's apps you could use. There's like Boost Camp is a popular one. There's, I use Excel, you can do that, or like Google Sheets, something. There's iOS and Android apps that you could use, both paid and free, or like the Notes app on your phone. So, oh, there you go. Fitbot, perfect. There you go. That's awesome. So that way you can track progress over time, and you have a training log and all of those things. So kudos to you for already getting started on that. That's awesome. And then, yeah, dude, just eat enough, sleep enough, try and find time to recover, and you'll be golden. You will be golden. This stuff just takes a long, long time, unfortunately. But yeah, then hopefully you fall in love with the process and seeing improvements week over week and all of that, and it just becomes part of your daily routine and all that. Okay. So what did we do last week? Okay, last week we did 185. We went 10, 9, 9. So this week we got to push and hit 3 sets of 10. So next week we can bump this up. Okay. So first working set, this is our main compound movement for our quads. Obviously I understand not everybody has a belt squat. You could do a back squat. You could do, a leg press, a hack squat, front squat, kind of whatever you want as your compound builder for your quads. Pick something, stick with it for a few months, log your progress, all of that. But we use the belt squat here in the MeatHaus. And let's get this first working set in. I see you sent a message. Dude, I got bad vision, so I can't read the screen. So once I hit this set, I'll go and take a look. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. All right, here we go. Okay. Whew. Okay. 10 on the first. Oh, I have a feeling we should be able to get 10 on all of these, so let's see. Okay. Do I think personal trainers are beneficial and worth the money? This is probably going to be not the answer you were hoping for. It depends, unfortunately. I personally have never hired a personal trainer. I've gone to like a 24-hour fitness here in the US. I've gone to a Lifetime Fitness here in the US, and as part of signing up, they do the hey, you can do a complimentary session with one of our trainers, and they'll build oh, you go to 24-hour. Okay, cool. So sometimes they have the hey, you can do a complimentary training session with, this person who might be, I don't know, fresh out of college, who was maybe a college baseball player, or something, or played some sport, I don't know, whatever, who got their NASM certification or whatever personal training certification, which just means they studied, took a test, got certified, and personal trainers at gyms like a 24 LA Fitness, those kind of, I would say more budget commercial gyms, are pretty churn and burn. So they're like salespeople. at the end of the day, where they're doing everything they can to get you to sign up for however many classes. And the quality of the personal trainer that you will get could be all over the spectrum. You know, like you might get a man or woman who's been like personal training for like 3 months, or you could get a man or a woman who's been personal training for like 20 years. So I think at a gym like 24 Hour Fitness, it depends, really. I think the other thing is, what are you looking to get out of a personal trainer? Like if you just want somebody to structure a training program for you, like you could just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm this height, I'm this body weight, I want to get to this, you know, weight or physique or whatever, help structure me a training plan that's 5 days a week. I like this kind of training program, make it well balanced, follow all the science-based principles, assume I have, you know, like ChatGPT could build you a program. And honestly, nowadays, like a lot of those personal trainers are probably just using ChatGPT anyways to make them for you because it's so much easier. So, but if you want somebody that like can help you with like technique, like here's how you can improve your squat, or here's like you want to get really good at squatting. Here's how you can improve your bench and your deadlift, proper technique, things like that. Maybe a personal trainer, or, and again, like budget assuming, but if you have the budget to hire a personal trainer, you could also go to a more boutique gym that's not a 24-hour fitness. There might be like a private powerlifting gym or Olympic weightlifting gym where you could hire a coach who specializes in the sport, and they could teach you form and technique, and you would probably get better value for your money going to a gym like that versus a personal trainer at 24 Hour. So dude, this is like the longest winded answer of basically me saying it depends. In, you know, 2025, would I be like, yeah, you know what, go hire a trainer from 24 Hour Fitness? Probably not. It's all really going to be dependent on your goals. And also there's just like so much information out there on YouTube, and, you know, there's all the like science-based community, quote unquote, that's on like TikTok and stuff that has like their own opinions of training. There's like tons of fitness YouTubers and stuff that you could learn from. So I don't know, dude, like right now, does it make sense? I don't know, maybe not. But also it's your decision, you know? I mean, don't let, you know, a stranger in his garage influence or tell you what to do. Obviously, you know, whatever you think is best for yourself, go for it. But that's just my opinion, I guess. Come on. Oy. I mean, the other thing you could look into is like hire, again, if you wanted, is seeing like what are the costs of an online coach. I've worked with online coaches in the past and have had really good experiences. Obviously you would want to like, again, do your research, like what are their credentials? What do they specialize in? What are your goals? And the good ones will Oh, dude, thank you for following, by the way. I appreciate it. The good ones will usually set up like a consultation call for like 30 minutes and be like, tell me about you. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What's your budget? Like, what are your expectations for this kind of stuff? And so that's a good approach too, if you want, but you know, there's tons of people on, dude, I'm sure here on Twitch, on TikTok, on YouTube, like Instagram, you could find somebody whose content you like, who has a physique that you like, that has like client stories and stuff, and you could work with them if you want it also. Versus if you want something in person, you know? So there's a lot of ways you could go with this. So, and having trained at a 24-hour fitness for like years and years and years, and at more specialty gyms, and then, you know, obviously built a home gym and stuff. There's a whole bunch of ways you could go, and you'll get wildly different results, or wildly different experiences, I should say, depending on where you go and kind of what you want to do. But if you like your app, you know, and if it's giving you good workouts and you can stick to it. 21 and living alone downtown. Okay. Assuming this is necessary, I'll use the free resources. Do 100%, right? This is all like within the context of like time, budget, you know, resources you have available, all of those things. So, dude, you can absolutely get by with the app that you have and free resources on, dude, all over YouTube. There's tons of stuff. I mean, I'm obviously happy to give you my opinion if you ask for it. It'll all be anecdotal, like I don't coach people or anything. I'm just a sweaty dude in a garage trying to get bigger and build a nice physique. But yeah, dude, there's so many free resources out there. And yeah, just eat enough, sleep enough, track your progress, you know, try and make some gains, and you'll be good, man. It's really all you need. Ooh, all right, last set. Will we get 10 and beat last week? I think we will. Oh, sorry if that was crazy loud. All right, here we go. Come on. Three more, come on. 8. Okay. So we beat last week. We will take it. We're getting stronger. Skrrr, man. What's up? Welcome to the MeatHaus. We like to have fun here. That's a crazy contraption. Yes, it is. It's called a belt squat. So, sorry if that was crazy loud. But yeah, this is our belt squat. So I'll move the camera. There you go. It's a loading pin. Stack a bunch of plates on it, and then the weight just goes up and down. There you go. Mimics a squat, but does not load the weight on your spine, so no spinal compression, lower systemic fatigue, and it's all quads, baby. So yeah, look sick, thank you. Thank you, I like it quite a bit. And it's probably one of the pieces of equipment I use most frequently, so. Got a crazy setup, thank you. Yeah, here, I mean, if you want the MeatHaus tour, I can give you a quick little, sorry, it's gonna feel like Cloverfield or whatever, where the guy's holding the camera and it's like crazy shaky, so my apologies, but I'll move this guy out of the way. Probably cost a pretty penny. You know, I was talking about this on stream the other day. It did, but the way I paid for 90-ish% of it is it didn't cost me anything. So we have bumpers, handles, you know, shop vac, blah, blah, blah. We have adjustable dumbbells, like right at the tip of my finger. You can't really see them. They're tucked away over there. Belt squat, rogue rack, stream house that hosts the stream, our bench, our lat tower, our little pegboard with attachments, and the rest of our garage. So, yeah, so it's taken, I don't know, about 5 years to get it to this point, but yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, so I, like most people during COVID, I went fully remote. Hey, Equips, all good, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Garage, I've never heard of this guy. But because of COVID and going remote, companies offered like work from home stipends and like wellness stipends at the companies that I worked for. And so I used my stipends on home gym stuff, basically. So that's what got me most of this gym. So yeah, I would just, I mean, obviously I asked my companies like, hey, I'm not going to use this. Like I have a standing desk, I have monitors, I have a nice chair, blah, blah, blah. I don't need, I don't need more of this stuff. I'm not going to go to a gym because I'm building a gym in my new house. Can I just buy equipment? And they were like, yeah, go for it. So that's how most of this worked. Obviously I had to spend some out of pocket, but what's my spotter? So I've got these spotter arms here on the bench. The belt squat, I don't need a spotter because if I miss the squat or if it's too heavy and I'm just stuck down here, I just unhook and then stand back up. So that's not really a problem. If I'm lifting dumbbells, I just drop them if I need to. But other than that, I just try and not be an idiot and not YOLO lift and try and like tear a pec or something. So my spotter is our good Lord Jesus Christ. I'm just kidding. That's a joke, by the way. Yeah, can I do a backflip? No, dude, not even close. You want to see like the least athletic person? Well, I mean, I'm not that unathletic, but I am by no means an acrobat that can do some sort of flip. That will never happen. 20, 30, 40, 45. So I know I'm slightly off camera here. And you probably hear a bunch of clanging. That is me setting up our adjustable dumbbells for the most annoying exercise that I do. So, Bulgarian split squats. Just such a pain in the ass to get through, but it's all good. I'm super smart. Thanks. I appreciate that. Not sure how accurate that is. Maybe slightly above average, but I appreciate the compliment. But how are you? How was your Friday? Okay. Sorry, I know this is super loud while I'm doing this, but it will be over here shortly. Oh. Okay. Now we're all set up. You hate those squats? Yeah, dude. Split squats are easily the worst. Easily the worst exercise. But that's kind of why I do them, is because I hate them so much, but they offer really good stimulus. They're pretty easy to overload, all things considered. And here in the garage, you know, we don't have tons of options when it comes to equipment, so we kind of gotta make do with what we got, and dumbbells are an easy option for us. So we'll go like that, and I'll do maybe a little something like that. Yeah, that should work. There we go. And then I'll move this guy. Have I ever thought, it's going good. I was doing work and I followed you apparently and got your notification, so I'm watching you now and I think I remember why I followed. That's good. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for seeing me live and stopping in. I appreciate you being here. Have you ever thought of doing CrossFit? Yeah, so I used to train out of a CrossFit gym, actually. What the heck? I was a former power lifter, and the gym that the few of us trained out of was out of the back of a CrossFit gym. And we had like this little corner with a power rack and our own little zone. And every once in a while, I would pop in and do the WOD or whatever it was for some conditioning. But I hate running, and all of the workouts that were like, all right, go run 400 meters, then do 40 sets of pull-ups, blah, 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 blah. I was like, dude, this is not gonna work for me. So no thank you. And I know the big thing now, at least in the US, is High Rocks, which is like hybrid rock star, which is basically CrossFit at this point. And I am never going to do that. But it seems like running has gotten really popular again. Okay. Oh. Dude, these things suck. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Fuck. Just the worst. Yeah, at least I did it once exactly. How am I doing? I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Dude, I'm so out of breath. Sorry if you hear me just wheezing while I'm doing this. I'll set up slightly different angle for these guys. Sorry, that dragging noise is the battery for the camera. Oh yeah, sick angle. But I'm not bad, man. I was up at like 4:30 this morning. It's almost 7:30, and our dog started barking, which woke me up, and then woke our son up, and then woke my wife up. So I was like, hey, everybody's up at 4:30. At this point, and then yeah, so that was my morning. Do I play any games? I do. I like games quite a bit, actually. I'm currently 30 hours into Borderlands 4 on console. And that's been fun. Might pick up Hades 2 on Steam Deck, which would be sweet. I played so much Hades 1, so I'm stoked for Hades 2. I'm trying to think, like, what are the games that I played and beat this year? Lies of P. Played and beat, still need to do the DLC. Death Stranding 1, bought it on sale, played and beat that on console. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. I'm not done with Rebirth. I'm like, it's just too big. I don't even remember where I'm at. The game's just too big. Like I got so freaking burnt out. And oh, what'd you say? Damn, what dog you got? I have a miniature schnauzer. So he's a little dude with a huge beard. Play a lot of Balatro on my phone when I'm taking a dump. What else? I really like, Souls games are like my favorite. I've been thinking about doing another Sekiro playthrough. That'd be fun. I played it on PC, but I might just buy it on console and play it on PlayStation, to be honest. I don't know, I play Elden Ring like all the time. I'm a recovering Destiny 2 addict. I played way too much of it, and then the final expansion came out. I beat it, and then I haven't played it ever since. So that's why Borderlands 4 is fulfilling my looter shooter. Dude, so I have not played Hollow Knight. I'm not a big platformer guy. Maybe if I played the first Hollow Knight and then got into Silksong, which I know it's been like 8 years or whatever, and people are stoked about it. But like a platformer, Metroidvania is not really my thing. I've played a good amount of Dead Cells, and that's fun. But not my favorite. Dude, I love the Yakuza games. Those are super fun. I don't know. I like a lot of games. I used to be more of a PC gamer, then we had a second kid, and so now I'm back to being a console gamer on PlayStation, and that's cool. It's nice and convenient. What about you? What games do you play? All right. Last set. Here we go. God, fuck these. Ugh. Ugh, I'm not doing it anymore. Ugh. Gotta put these back. Okay. So, what is happening here? Oh, I don't know why Nightbot is giving you a warning, but you're fine. Oh, it's giving you a warning for being in all caps. Huh. Sorry about that. But I see your post. Love story games, Spider-Man, God of War, playing Gears of War, some of my buddies. Dude, the Wolverine game looks awesome. I am not a... I don't know why Nightbot's being a little overzealous here. Sorry about that. I see your message though, but sorry, dude. It was deleted because it was in all caps, and so Nightbot views it as like a spam thing or whatever. Hold on. I can. Here we go. Here we go. Where does it go? Settings, maybe? Moderation. Here we go. Here. We'll lower our excessive caps. Here we go. Subscriber. Here we go. Regular. And then we'll go regular. Here, I'll fix it right now. Don't even worry. Copy. Ba-ba-ba. Paste. Boom. There you go. You should be fine now. Chat moderation, excessive caps. Here we go. Exempt for regulars. You are now a regular. You're fine. You can do all caps now. Sorry, that was Nightbot. But yeah, the Wolverine game looks sick. I am not a superhero guy, to be honest. Like, I think the last like Marvel movie I watched was the Winter Soldier movie. Oh, you're good, man. Don't even worry about it. I was mentioning that your message was deleted for it being all caps or whatever, and I fixed it in Nightbot for you, so hopefully it's good. But and I was mentioning I'm not a big superhero guy, but I think the Wolverine trailer looked awesome. Like so sick. And I'm pretty excited for that. Okay. We need to log 9 leg extensions, 100 and then 90. Okay. 90 and 100. Okay. See ya! Woo, 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 woo. Big dog. How are you, man? Oy. Happy Friday. Dude, see ya. How was your Friday, man? Hopefully you didn't have to work. Oy. We're wrapping up a little legs Benedict. Nice, man. I'm glad you had a good shift. Hopefully nothing crazy. Maybe a little Luke Bryan blasting in your office all day. Hopefully nothing too crazy. All right. So to round out our leg day, we have leg extensions and hamstring curls. So for extensions, we have 2 sets, 10 to 12 with 100 pounds. And then we'll do 3 sets of hopefully 12 with 90 pounds. Yeah. So we gotta make some gains. Simple calls. Good, man. I know you had some crazy ones the last couple days, so glad it was much more mellow. Oh. And we'll go right there. You know, gotta make sure we get our straw hat flag. All right. Oh. As I'm like clunking around with these big ass boots on. Dude, see ya. Student paramedic just out there saving lives. How many more weeks do you have in your rotation type thing? Didn't you say it was like 8 weeks post-graduation and then you're released on the world? All right. Here we go. Oh, okay. Whew. I am quite sweaty. There we go. And see ya, dude. No, never need to apologize. You are all good. Mom definitely comes first. So, dude, you never have to apologize. Do not even worry. Life and in-person communications and all that stuff are always going to be more important than me sweating. Just getting fucking sweaty in this garage. You are... Oh, thought we caught a mosquito. We missed. Don't update the count yet. See ya. But, Dude, you are all good. But I'm glad you had a good shift. And almost done, man. That's crazy. Week 4 of 7. Time flies, huh? I'm sure when you started, you were like, damn, 7 weeks. That's a long time. Now you're halfway through. That's wild. What's the expression? The days are long, but the weeks are fast, or something like that. Where when you're in it, it feels like it takes forever. And then when you look back, time just melted away. I know that's how it feels with our kids. Man, it's crazy. You see old pictures of them and I'm like, where did the time go? Go back to being a little baby. Alrighty. Last set on extensions. Here we go. Oy. My legs. Oh. Huh, I'm not all good, I'm Sia. Come on. Such a dad joke. 3 to 3 mosquitoes. Yeah. And yeah, dude, the years are fast and the days are crazy long. Dude, and it only speeds up. You know, I remember you said I'm unk status, which is cool. I'm fine being unk status, you know. But I do think once you hit like, what? I'm 32, maybe like 28 for me is when time like, well, I guess actually, like since COVID, you know, it's crazy to think that was almost 6 years ago at this point. And just like how much time has flown by since that all happened. I feel like I'm getting all nostalgic. I'm getting all sad. Why are my kids getting so old? Okay. Alrighty, last exercise. Whew. There we go. And we'll go back this way. And it's 85, 3 sets, 10 to 12. Okay. You were 21 during COVID. Man. That's why. That's like the prime. That's like prime of your life. Well, not. I would say, you know, again, this is Unk speaking here. I do think, for me, anyways, my 20s were great because I was dating my wife, and that was awesome. But my 30s have been just so wonderful. So I would say this is probably the prime of my life, is being in your 30s because you know more, like you've experienced more life, so you have more experience and knowledge just like about how things work and how people work that you can pull on. You know, I'm financially, I'm more stable in my career and that's more predictable. You know, got married, have kids, so. But I could not imagine like being in high school or, you know, like university during COVID. Man, that must have been tough. But I'm gonna move the mic. For the end, I will just hold it. You didn't get to celebrate your 21st? Ah. What about random pain? Skirt! Dude, you know, Sia might remember this. When a few months ago, maybe like a month and a half, the walls in here were white, and we went through and like moved the equipment and painted everything, and like backing my car out of the driveway so I could move the ladder around and stuff and still film, and like we live streamed all the painting and stuff that happened in here. And just like getting out of my car, my knee popped. And like I was like hobbling around for like 3 days doing just like a fluke thing, just like standing up out of my car. And I ended up putting Icy Hot on my knee, and I put like way too much. And it got so, here, I've got this package. It was like this color. It was like this red-orange color, and it looked like I got chemical burn on my leg. It was so bad. Is that why our life expectancy was so low back then? I mean, I think, like, I feel like infectious disease was like probably the big thing, and like war and stuff is probably what like contributed to low life expectancy back in the day. But now they're talking about like, it's not lifespan that matters, because lifespan keeps creeping up and up and up, but it's health span is the new thing, where it's like, yeah, okay, awesome, you lived to, 90 years old, but you were like bedridden and can't stand up. So how do we not just improve the length of life, but the quality of life? So now it's not just lifespan, that's the big thing. But yeah, back in the day, it's got to be like infection and disease, like polio and all that. War, sanitation, was like a huge thing. So, yeah, penicillin and vaccines, there we go. Yeah. Then you have crazy people in the US that have stopped vaccinating their kids, and now all these like long gone diseases are coming back. So that's like a whole other topic, but all right, here we go. Last one, come on. Ugh. Ugh. Oy. Oh, dude, you're South African? That's awesome. That's really cool. That is very cool. Viewers can print you images. I am in Texas in the US. Oh, down here in the South, I had a customer I used to work with. They were South African. That's awesome. So you do, every time I see your name, I always want to go skirt. So do you like 3D print? Is that your, like the main thing you do on stream? That's cool. Bald eagles with dual desert eagles with US flags. Dude, more than you'd think, so. Oh, it's definitely, we're very, very American down here, so. But yeah, I mean, is your stream like mostly 3D printing? That's cool. All right, and for our last set, we will set up like that, I guess. Oh. I do 3D print, but not for stream, just normal office printer. It's quite funny what some people can print, but I do 3D print, but it broke a while ago. Horror Souls games. Yeah, exactly, Sia. What's a kilometer? I always like when people call like pounds and miles freedom units. So they're like, oh, it's like 220 pounds or 220 freedom units or 100 kgs, you know? Yeah, and Skur, I followed you as well, man. As a Souls enjoyer myself, I will do my best to hop into your stream. So, yeah, see ya, go for it, man. Please do. You're welcome, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Watching a guy just lift weights and ramble on in his garage. One more. Oh, my hamstrings. Guys, I am fried. Jeez. Do we have a Discord? Dude, check this out. Boom. Did that work? I put that into the restream chat, but I don't know if it worked. Oh, it did work. Okay, cool. Let me know if that link works. For a while it, dude, see, the cool thing is I have the stream up on the MeatHaus that way, and then I have my shitty laptop over there with it pulled up. Discord link is invalid. You know, that's so annoying because I set it to where it shouldn't expire, but it still does. What's up with that? Here, we'll do it again. Okay, MeatHaus, boom. Okay, great. Invite people, or send a link, edit invite link, number of uses, and I want it to never expire. Generate a link, copy. Okay. See, do you know why it expires like that? That's so strange. Hey, welcome to the MeatHaus. I see you in the, oh, nice cat, man. Here, we'll hit you with a welcome. Dude, now that we've got the audio and the video working on, yeah, dude, you're in the mainframe. I'm in the computer. Now that we have the audio and the video working, Sia, I can finally, for real, invest time in working on the Discord. And Shapes is doing some minor edits on the logo. And so when that's done, we'll like sync up all the logos and stuff. And then I'm trying to find a way to not have to pay a subscription to get background music that's royalty free on the stream, but we're making progress, you know? So, it's so annoying even when you set the link to, yeah, dude, it is annoying. That's like the 4th time that's happened. So, I don't know why, but thanks for letting us know that it didn't work. This is fun. Check us out. All having a good time. Yeah, you guys are... See, you were doing a Nuzlocke run. You got to start that back up again. Joltic, huh? My... back in the gold and silver days, I would always get a... What was it, a Mereep, and then it would evolve into a Flaffy, and then it would evolve into a Ampharos, which was like a kangaroo lightning sheep. And that was always my favorite Pokemon. And I really liked Espeon. I thought Espeon was cool. Ugh. It was a big... Yeah. Big gold and silver guy. That's kind of where I fell off, to be honest. Oh. Oh. Okay. Togetic, nice. Oh, man. This was a tough workout, and I'm looking forward to resting the next couple days. Togetic. I got really into all the breeding you could do with a Ditto. And Magby and Elekid, Hitmontop. Those were the Jinx one. I can't remember what that one was called. Dude, no worries. Honestly, I'm getting ready to wind down this stream anyways. It's just about 8 a.m. for me. So we're nearing the end, but dude, thanks for being here. Nonetheless, I appreciate you. Don't go. Dude, see, that's what I'm saying. You think I want to go do this? You think my my life's dream is to maximize shareholder value and sit on Zoom calls all day? Nah. Forget about it. Stay. Okay. Hit him with the Skeletor. I don't want to be good. I want to be evil. Dude, the real money, everybody knows that the real money and the real value are the friends we made along the way. You know? Who needs any of this when you got the MeatHaus stream chat to keep you company? I actually do need to make sure I don't have any messages from my work. That would be bad. No, we are chilling. Okay, cool. Oh, all right, guys, we got about 2 minutes, and then we'll get out of here. I played Doom 2016, and I never played Eternal, and I didn't play Dark Ages. Dude, there's just too many games coming out, and I don't have the time to get to everything. But I did see the parry mechanic looks pretty cool. The shield looks cool. The kaiju mech fights in the new one looks cool. So the first games I ever played were with my aunt, and she had the Doom games on PC, and we played Doom together with my aunt. And yeah, so I have played the original Doom way back in the day. And then when our family had a PC, I played so much Age of Empires and Age of Mythology and all those RTS games, Warcraft. And the mod that became Dota. And obviously we know how that turned into what it's become, but dude, goated aunt, pretty much, man. She's still the ultimate homie. Dude, not World of Warcraft. I played Warcraft, in the RTS. Never got into WoW. I have, I don't know, maybe 200 hours in Final Fantasy 14 is my MMO of choice. So I'm something of a cat girl myself in Final Fantasy, and naturally. And then never played Dota, but I did play League in college, and then I couldn't keep up. There's just too many champions, and it got too sweaty. But we had these, we had a couple exchange students from Bangladesh that played League, and they got me into League because they were roommates with one of my buddies. And yeah, so shout out to those guys for getting me into League. And then, oh, you want me to do the cat girl dance? How they're like this, and then they're like that. There you go. That's me as doing the Final Fantasy 14 cat girl dance. There you go. Feel free to clip. We do need a new subscriber emote, so by all means, go for it. Golden? Is that a K-pop Demon Hunters reference? You know we gotta be golden. Whoa. 'cause we're going up, up, up. All right. Had to clip it. Hey, clip away. You guys do what you got to do. Atlas, what's up, man? Workout's good. We're actually just ending it. It was pretty good. Not gonna lie. The belt squats were good. The split squats were brutal. Leg extensions were fine. Hamstring curls were pretty tough. Now we're just hanging out. So just make sure we got nothing from my work. Perfect. Still chilling. Oh, and I can see my daughter on the monitor and she's still sleeping. So we might actually have a couple more minutes. How about that? We can keep hanging out. Ooh, chat's popping. Oh. Those are good. Thanks, Atlas. You too, man. Have a good weekend. Hope you're able to chill like you wanted. Happy Friday, as always. Thanks for being here. You were number one in chat, so. And yes, I'm here. Okay, if I say I'm an anime fan, then somebody usually is like, "Oh, have you seen this obscure show? Oh, you haven't seen, I got reincarnated as a vending machine in a castle adjacent to the Dark Lord's underworld, some like weird isekai thing." And I'm like, "No, dude, I haven't seen that. Like, I don't have time for that." I'm like the ultimate normie when it comes to being an anime fan, with maybe a couple deep cuts in there, I would say I enjoy anime fans. I enjoy anime, but I am a One Piece fan. It's like diehard One Piece fan. I've seen, a lot of shows. Again, I've seen like most of the mainstream ones, but if somebody's like, "Oh, you're an anime fan? Name every anime." And I'm like, "Guys, what are we, like, it's not gonna happen." I don't have the time. Avatar and Pokemon, dude, classics. There you go. Except in the 4Kids dub, in Pokemon, they would eat like the rice balls, like the onigiri, and then they would call them jelly donuts for some reason. And it's like, that's not a jelly donut. What are you talking about? So that was fun. Or like the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, like they have guns and they like shoot people and stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh in the manga, and then the cartoon is obviously what it is, but yeah. Oh, Sia, you know the clip I'm talking about? Yeah, there you go. Brock's like, "Here, have some jelly donuts." And it's like, that's not a jelly donut. What are you talking about? Or like the 4Kids One Piece. Obviously, there's like the One Piece rap, which is banger. Always will be. Certified banger. But they edit out all the, like Sanji is always like smoking cigarettes, and then they make it like a lollipop, and they like superimpose that, and they like give Sanji a mumble because he like always has the lollipop in. So that's fun. Yu-Gi-Oh has some of the best trash talk. Seto Kaiba, you're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck. Bar, like, classic. All-time line from Seto Kaiba. So, there's like a kid screaming out front. Or is that my kid? I'm like, there's somebody screaming. Is that my child? No, because she's not up yet. You guys hear that? Dude, there's like a kid running around outside screaming. I'm not gonna do anything. They're probably just getting ready for school. Yeah, they're like right outside our garage door. Yeah, the kid's fine. But that's the joys of being out here in the garage. You know? It's always fun on Thursdays because that's our trash day. And sometimes on stream, it's just like, it's just like all these noises from the trash trucks out front. But yeah, it does sound like that. There you go. See ya, dropping the hard knowledge. I think it sounds like they're in one of those like kid cars, you know? So that's what it sounds like. Or like somebody's pulling in their trash cans because trash day was yesterday and they're pulling them in now. But guys, unfortunately, I do got to get out of here. It's, a little past date, got to shower, got to do my hair, got to eat something, get ready for a day of maximizing shareholder value, all that fun stuff. But as always, I appreciate you guys being here. You all are the best. Love this little, community we're building over here on Twitch and on YouTube. So thank you guys for being here. Please, what hair you're working from home? Dude, I know, but I'm on calls all day and I'm like meeting with customers and I'm camera on. So I gotta reel in this mane so it's not just, blown away everywhere. So I do put a little pomade and stuff in it just to give it a little bit of, what am I trying to say? A little bit of shape, we'll say, to the lettuce. But thank you guys for being here. The Wandy, I hope I'm saying that properly. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Welcome to the MeatHaus. We like to have fun here. But with that, thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Again, please consider following the stream, checking us out on YouTube at the MeatHaus. And we will be taking Saturday off and Sunday off. They're not training days, but we'll be back Monday morning, same time, getting right back into it. So with that, I hope you all have a great Friday. Hope you all have great weekends. You all have been great. We've been the MeatHaus. I'll catch you later. Have good days. Bye-bye. Finger guns. Pew, pew, pew.